Ladies and gentlemen, do taxes equal slavery? Here's where I get this from. I keep hearing that the Fed is enslaving us and stuff. Now, because they were able to spend money by printing it and so on. Now, kudos for hyperbole, kudos for exaggeration, good stuff that. In fact, Thomas Paine wrote that the British government, by passing these taxes on us, is seeking to do nothing less than reduce us to a state of slavery. You know, kudos for hyperbole on him. I'm not going to say taxes are good. I'm not going to say the Fed is good. See my video on the Fed. I'm not going to say that it's not bad, it's terrible, it's immoral. But we're not enslaved. And Patrick Henry was exaggerating. Or was it Patrick Henry, or who was it? Thomas Paine, I think it was. I think he was exaggerating when he said that the British government's trying to do nothing less than reduce us to a state of slavery. By slavery, look it up on the online on a dictionary. Slavery means physical violence, okay? And that is simply not the case today. I am not a slave of the Fed, the Federal Reserve, because if I want to, I could quit working. I could go to California, sit on the beach, play a guitar, and starve to death. And there'd probably be somebody come and hand me sandwiches every day, some Christian lady or some bonehead. So, yeah, I have the right to not even work if I don't want. You show me a slave, anywhere, in all of history, that had the right to not work. Because I've got that right. Now you're saying, but if you do work, half of your money gets taken by the government. Okay, I'm not in favor of that. I don't like that. But if you describe that as slavery, here I am. I can use the 50% of my money that's left to go to a strip club, buy a bottle of wine, buy the latest book that talks about how evil the Federal Reserve is, go on YouTube and watch videos about how bad the Federal Reserve is. I can do anything I want with the other 50% of my money. Almost anything. Can't buy a nuclear weapon or whatever. So to say that I'm enslaved because they take half of my money is just exaggeration and hyperbole. And I think that we need to have a little bit more respect for the people around the world today, while I'm making this video. People who are being beaten or whipped or tortured, those people really are in a position of slavery. And if you describe me taking my money and buying a bottle of wine and going to dinner and a movie as being enslaved because I didn't have as much to spend as I'd like, if you're going to say that's slavery, what are you going to say to the people that are being beaten and whipped and having fingers cut off and having cigarettes burned on, like that 7-year-old girl that was discovered in Pakistan, her body completely covered in scars from cigarette and cigar burns. They burned her on the stove and stuff. She was given to this family to pay off a debt. The other family owed a debt, and they said, here, take our 7-year-old daughter. And that girl then was made to do chores around the house and was tortured for no reason, except that if you give people the power to torture, they'll use it. So, yeah. What is slavery? It involves physical violence. If I don't pay my taxes, then there will possibly be physical violence. If I willfully, knowingly violate the tax laws, then I can be jailed for that in America. And the police will come with guns and take me to jail, and in jail, if I misbehave, the people in there have guns and stuff. So yeah, they'll use physical force against me. But I can stop working, and you've got to remember that. You've got to remember that we are not slaves yet. Kudos to hyperbole. I'm against the Fed as much as anybody else is. But we're not slaves. Let's save that word, or else we're not going to have any word to use if we say, I'm enslaved. We're not going to have any word for the people that really are in a bad situation. And we should be thankful and grateful for every bit of freedom that we have. And we should try to reserve the integrity of words like slavery. I'm not enslaved. I'm just being robbed by the government. I don't like it, but I'm also not being beaten and whipped on a daily basis. I'm not being told what to do. I'm not being forced to work. I'm just being forced to pay the government if I choose to work. That's different. That's not slavery.